Hello everyone, welcome to How Da Game Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Today we will be talking about the Royal Knights. I know you guys are looking at the entire mega list right over here right now, but we will only be talking about the Royal Knights because I want to introduce you guys to the Royal Knights and their support skills, and some things to take note of for each Royal Knight and what attacks they do. This is the library page, and as you can see here, you will be able to go in and see how they evolve into, who they evolve into from. I hope this is of good help, and you guys will be able to get all the Royal Knights that you want, because some of them, or rather most of them, are especially strong in the game because of their unique support skills and abilities. Alright, okay, over here, let's give it a start. Let's start with Alphamon, which is because this is by alphabetical order. We have Alphamon over here. Alphamon support skill allows you to deal extra 20% damage to all Royal Knights in the game. Now remember that support skills affect your entire party, or rather entire fighting party that is in the battle at that moment in time. So you get 20% increase throughout your entire party, and think of it this way, you get a lot of damage output out of that. So as for Alphamon's special attack, is nothing special. You just need to take the first attack does 3 to 6 physical damage to one particular target, a single target, 3 to 6 physical damage. And the second attack will be Digitalize of Soul, which is more unique in terms of it doing 95 damage to your entire enemy team and has a 5% chance of inducing instant death. That's it for Alphamon. Second one will be Alphos Vidramon. This guy's broke. This guy's broke as fuck, as everybody is using him. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, over here we will show you who evolves into Alphamon. It's basically Cyberdoramon and Dorugreymon, the giant dinosaur with wings. Okay, next up we have Alphos Vidramon. Alphos Vidramon is top tier of the top tiers, and you will be seeing him most of the time in PvP because of his support skill. The support skills allows you to start first during any battle. So as long as you have an Alphos Vidramon in your team and your opponent doesn't have one, your entire team is going to start first, and you're going to get the first 3 moves no matter what. His first attack does damage to your physical damage to your entire enemy team, and it will definitely increase his speed by 10%. His second attack just deals a 2-hit attack on one single target. Yeah, on one single target, and that's about it. So nothing much to take note of over there. The next Royal Knights we're going to be looking at down the list will be Eczema. Alright, Eczemon's special support skill, what it does is it increases your hit percentage, which is basically your hit rate, and your evasion by 5%. It also increases your critical by 10%. Basically, you have a 10% increase in critical chance. What Eczemon's Eczemon's support skills isn't that useful, but what makes Eczema so unique is because of his second special attack, Dragonic Impact, the one with 50 SP right there. You can see that's his second skill. What it does is it knocks back your entire enemy team. It does physical damage to your entire enemy team, and it does the status of knockback. That's the only move in the game that has a full team knockback. What knockback does is basically, sorry about it, I'm trying to burp here. Okay, what this status means is basically you attack your enemy and they get knocked back into the back line, and they are forced to switch the next 3 Digimon in the back line to come to the front line. So if their Digimon aren't really the fast moving ones, you are probably going to get another turn, or you are going to screw whatever strategy your opponent has up. Like he buffs his entire team in front, Eczema just goes ahead and knocks them right back into the back row. Okay, after Eczema, what we have is Kantaromon, another one of my favorites, because Kantaromon's support skill allows your entire team, what it does is, as long as your entire that particular Digimon has 50% or more HP, it cannot be killed in one hit, and you will always have 1 HP left. It's a free safety guard. You want to use it. You really want to use it. His special attacks aren't spectacular. The first one does 4 hit physical attacks to one guy, and the second one does a full team 100 physical attack if I recall correctly. And why it isn't spectacular is because the second move has only a 70% chance hit rate, but it has a very high chance of becoming a critical hit. That is it. And Kantaromon has a big problem, which is he doesn't really have a lot of SP. As you can see, if I switch it to level 50 over here, the guy only has 90 SP. Pathetic in terms of SP output, because most people have a lot more than that. Okay, the next one up after Kantaromon is Craniamon. Craniamon over here has the support skill of reducing all the damage you take by 10%. Well, what is Craniamon so good for is probably his second buff, which is God Blaze. I believe it increases his attack and defense. Yeah, let's give it a check here, just to be sure, because I don't want to give you guys wrong info. So, over here we have Craniamon. Okay, what his first ability does is you do 30 physical damage 3 times to your entire enemy team, so it's pretty normal. Well, the second ability is that God Blaze, what he used during the game itself. Okay, basically the second ability is you do not take any form of damage until your next turn. That's it. It's actually pretty awesome when you think about it, because it means you can waste a lot of your enemy's turn. But even though you can't take damage, you can still be inflicted with status. So it's not always the best of thing. Think of it as a protect like in Digimon. Other than that, that's about it. He does have one equip slot though, so when done correctly, he can have full status deflecting abilities. Basically, he won't be able to get hit by any form of status when done right. Now, next up we have Jasmine over here. Jasmine, another one of the stronger Royal Knights. His support skills allows your entire team to do this. Every time your HP, or whenever your HP is below 25%, when you're about to die, of course, you get an increased 25%. You get a 25% increase in both agility and evasion. Okay, the 25% increase in agility is awesome to begin with, but 25% increase in evasion, I can kind of max it out all the way to 65% when done correctly, because the percentage in this game stacks on like addition. It does not goes into compound. So you have a 25% increase in evasion, you get an... Alright, let's take it that if you have 3 Jasmine, you're gonna get a 75% increase in evasion if all of them are under 25% HP. No, actually, if one of them is under 25% HP, they all get 75% increase in evasion. What am I talking about? That's pretty amazing. I should try it next time. What makes Jasmine so good is actually his second special attack. His second special attack is like Craniamon's, just better, but it also costs more SP to begin with. What it does is it allows Jasmine to not take any forms of damage until his next turn, and it also adds the effect of counter, and he gets to counter both magic and physical attack. So if anyone hits Jasmine when he is in, after he casts that thing, his second special attack, he will be able to keep attacking back every time he gets hit. So maybe he's a good tank. I mean, he does have pretty decent stats to begin with. After Jasmine, we have over here Sleipmon, also known as Kantaromon in some case. Okay, what Sleipmon is great at is actually not because of his speed. Don't listen to that. His speed is great, but it's not awesome when you compare it to Alvos Vidra and you compare it to Raymon or something, the Tengu. What his support skill does is actually one of the most important support skills in the game. It reduces your status inflicting chance by 50%. Basically, you get 50% chance of negating all sorts of status ailments. So all you need is 2 Sleipmon, and you actually have a 100% chance of not getting hit by any form of status. What you can do around this is mix it up. You have one Sleipmon and you have your 2 other Digimon with Master Barrier. It will prevent those teams that depends heavily on the first turn to inflict status on you. You can prevent that entirely just with Sleipmon alone. That is how the game works, and it is, well, it's awesome. Why? Because he's a Royal Knight and he has pretty incredible speed stats. So you will get to move first most of the time. After Sleipmon, the next Royal Knights that we'll be looking at, no, it's not Dianamon. We will talk about Dianamon another time. It's Digimon. Now, Digimon is very simple. His support skill is all-rounder. It grants your entire party, or your entire team, an 5% increase in both in all attack, defense, intelligence, and speed. 5% isn't a lot, but 5% is all-rounder for everything. I suppose it's very good for teams that has very high HP, defense, and everything. Just need a bit of increase in most stats, or you can put 3 Digimon and try to have fun with 15% increase in everything. For everyone, by the way. Okay, what's next is why Digimon is fairly unique is because he can debuff himself with his second special attack, Final Illusion. Okay, what Final Illusion does is when you attack someone with the attack and it hits, you get to debuff yourself of all status down effects. So he is one of those rare few who can debuff himself for free because you are also attacking at the same time. Sadly, it's a virus type, and most virus type in this game gets owned by vaccine time a lot of times, unless they hit hard enough. Okay, after Digimon, we have Dynasmon. Dynasmon over here is very simple. His support skill is all fire and wind element skills get a 10% increase in damage. 10% increase in damage, it's great every time. It means you deal an extra 900 to 100 damage for those very hard hitting ones. On the other hand, his normal attacks, his special skills isn't that spectacular. Blaze of Wyvern is just a team attack, and Dragon's Roar is, I can't remember which is which. Sorry, I think one is a multi-hit and the other is a full team attack. It really does nothing spectacular. So then Dynasmon is something that you more or less just want to use a little. Not spectacular, but okay, not bad. Okay, next up, Digimon Wakamoto. Well, in Digimon, his support skill, which is very useful sometimes. Yeah, okay, it's useful sometimes. It can be very useful sometimes. It's very useful, right? Well, his support skill reduces your SP used by 20%. So if you have something hard hitting that requires a lot of SP, it gets reduced by 1/5. It's okay in some teams, but I rather replace it with some other support skills because his normal special attacks isn't that awesome, except for the second one, which has a confirmed 100% chance of inflicting 10% defense down on enemy target enemy target hit. What makes Digimon so good, on the other hand, would be his Leopard mode. Why? Because in Leopard mode, his support skills, Leopard mode, increase your evasion and critical rate by 5% and increase your agility by 10%. So Digimon over here is one of those options that you want to use when you want to increase your entire team speed. It's either him or Metal Garuru, because Metal Garuru increases it by 15%, Digimon increases it by 10%. Of course, what makes Digimon better than Metal Garuru is the fact that his stats are significantly higher and he has slightly stronger attacks in most sense. Yep, Metal Garuru is a paper wolf. Digimon on the other hand is not really a paper wolf, but he doesn't increase the speed of the team that much. Okay, next up after Digimon, we are going to head into the last few. Hey, where are they? Okay, after Digimon, we have got. Let's take a look. Oh wait, the last few are all. Oh wait, I just missed one. What am I doing? It's Lord Knightmon. It's over there. Alright, after Digimon, which we only have a few more left. Bear with me, thank you. Okay, Lord Knightmon over here. Lord Knightmon, her support skill is pretty okay. Well, what you do in the support skill, what the support skill does, sorry, is that it does extra 15% damage if you are of the opposing element, which means you are hitting your opponent with their weakness. You do an extra 15% on top of the ×2 or ×3 that you already have. Now, what makes Lord Knightmon so strong actually is because of his second special attack, which uses 50 SP. It is one of the hardest hitting single physical attacks in the game. It does 3 times your physical attack power, and it is also a fire attack, so it is quite effective in most cases and does a shit ton of damage. My Lord Knightmon has Excel boost to even further increase that, and what makes her so good is also the fact that she has fairly decent speed, alright, more than enough speed to begin with compared to all other Digimons. Okay, after Lord Knightmon, we are going to be looking at Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. Imperial Dramon Paladin mode has some very interesting support skill, is because the support skill allows you to take 15% less damage if you are on the receiving end of the weak trait. Yes, trait. Remember, it's basically your trait, meaning you are vaccine type. If you are vaccine type and you're fighting against the data type and your opponent attacks you with a data type, you are going to take 15% less damage. It's quite a big reduction when it comes to stats. 15% can amount up to around 200 plus 300 plus when people goes for 1-hit kills, and it will mean a big difference of whether you survive or not. Now, his special attacks Omega Blade does 150 physical damage, and it has a chance, 10% or 5%, I forgot, it has a chance of inflicting dot status on your opponent on the target hit. After Imperial Dramon, we have Omegamon, everybody's favorite Digimon. Omegamon, or rather Garuru Greymon. He has one of the best support skills in the game, which is basically increased speed by 10% as usual. That happens all the time, but in addition to that, you get increased 10% damage in both fire and light skills. Fire and light skills are very common throughout most vaccine types and throughout most Digimons, to be honest, and the extra 10% is going to help a lot with a lot of people's special attack. Imagine Omegamon with Lord Knightmon, I get a 10% increase, and I get an extra 10% increase in the fire attack of Lord Knightmon, which is already doing a lot of damage, even though it uses 50 SP. So with that in mind, Omegamon's special attacks, the first one, Grey Sword, does quite decent damage to your entire enemy team, physical, and Garuru Cannon also does okay magic damage to one target hit. So if you ever use Omegamon, it's definitely because of his support skill and his more than usual stats. After Omegamon, of course, we are going for the last two Royal Knights, which aren't even mega to begin with. We have Armor type Digimon, Magnamon. Now Magnamon, let's be really honest here, he doesn't really have much to begin with. His attack allows him to have a chance, his attacks will allow him to increase his defense by 10%. It's definitely going to happen, but that's it. It isn't anything spectacular. His support skill, on the other hand, is more or less the same thing, but it's a lot better because you get the 10% chance of reducing the damage you take by 30%. Sadly, it's only 10% chance, so it's not that useful either. It is better than nothing. Okay, and finally, we have Rapidmon. Now, Rapidmon over here, the support skills is that you get to recover 3% of your HP and SP every turn. That's it. His special attack, Golden Triangle, allows him to have a 10% chance, which is very low, to increase all of his stats by 10%, which is very high. However, it never really happens. I've never really seen it happen before, so I rather not think about Rapidmon as being one of the Royal Knights. He's not really viable in PvP, and he should be classified under the Ultimates, because that's where Rapidmon is, and the memory he takes is more or less also ultimate level, which is only 18. Okay, with that we have done with our introductions on all the Royal Knights in the game. However, I totally forgot to show you guys how to get to that Digimon itself, so we are going to do it all over again from Alphamon. And over here, to get Alphamon, you have to go through either Cyberdoramon or Dorugreymon. To get Alphos Vidramon, you have to go through either Aero Vidramon or Megadoramon. The next one, okay, we will show Imperial Dramon. There's really no reason not to, because to get to Imperial Dramon is basically Stingmon. Pale Dramon, sorry, where you get from Stingmon and Vidramon, yes, XVmon, sorry. After Pale Dramon, let's go for Eczemon. Oops, sorry. So to get the Eczemon, you have to go through either Dorugreymon or Rise Greymon. To get to Gankomon, you have to go through Superstarmon and Desmeramon. To get to Craniamon, I always use Knightmon, but Andromon works. After Andromon and Knightmon, Jasmine will be the problem because Heckmon is a rookie Digimon. But just for Jasmine himself, I'm going to show you how to get to Heckmon. He gets his way from Koromon, and you can get him from either Greymon, Geogreymon, or Platinum Sugamon. Now, isn't that a surprise? Next up after Jasmine, we have Sleipmon. To get to Sleipmon, you need to go through either Kirinmon or Dorugreymon. And after Sleipmon, we have Dukemon. Dukemon is Gromon, yeah. Megalogromon and Metatarainomon. Dunasmon we get from Aero Vidramon and Selfimon. Selfimon sucks, but okay. Dufmon on this side we get from Knightmon again, and Grableomon. Sorry, what am I talking about? Grableomon? Yeah. After that will be, let's see, we are going through to Lord Knightmon. Lord Knightmon will be on Knightmon and Holy Ngmon. And finally, the last few after Lord Knightmon, we have Imperial Dramon. DM is definitely from Imperial Dramon. DM only, so you have to put him at DM before you can evolve him. And we have Omegamon, which is a combination of Wargreymon and Metagarurumon. Most people already know. After that, the last two will be Armor Digivolutions, which you will get if you have a Vmon to Magnamon and a Terriamon to Rapidmon only. Well, that's it for today. It's been a long ass video, I'm sorry about that. I hope the whole video helped and you guys will be able to get the Royal Knights you want after knowing what abilities you want to do. And also, I hope it will help you in knowing what your opponents have set up, so you can want to more or less prepare for it and how to deal with these Royal Knights on its own. Alphamon? Probably, maybe? It's always viable. Okay, that will be it for today. I hope everyone had fun, and over here we will do more PvP in the weeks to come. Howda Game signing off. See you guys next time. Bye bye.